Hello and welcome to the Adventures of Gaia.
Hey guys, it's Amber from the Adventures of Gaia. Hit that thumbs up, smash the notification bell so you know when we post. It would mean a lot to me if you subscribe.
Gaia and Oakland have been informed by Strom that Gaia was the target by an organization that would enslave her and cause her harm. Upon eating their breakfast, they noticed a different innkeeper than before. Gaia and Oakland decide to head back to Captain Seeg's ship to pay him the gold that they had been loaned. Gaia is fairly set on turning herself in for the gold Strom had promised. However, Oakland has his doubts and fears Strom will hurt her or betray them both. Upon arrival at the ship, Seeg greets them with open arms. Gaia and Oakland inform Captain Seeg of the trafficking ring targeting Gaia and their plot to bring it down. Seeg discourages this action, informing them that it's a dangerous operation and that he is familiar with the ring and it goes extremely deep. Captain Seeg gives Gaia and Oakland his first mate's quarters to spend the night in. Strom visits the ship, asking to see Gaia and Oakland, and against Seeg's better judgment, he allows Strom to come aboard due to Gaia's wishes. However, he forces Strom to strip off everything he owns, even his clothes. Strom and Oakland devise a plot to burn the warehouse, leaving Gaia safe on the ship. So we left off with Gaia on the ship with Seeg and his crew. Oakland has transformed into a warhorse and has attached himself to a cart carrying 2 barrels of oil. Storm Sparkington is accompanying Oakland and is setting off to set fire to the warehouse where the trafficking ring is taking place.
Well, I am in my human male bard form of Nyrook, not my human Storm Sparkington form.
So you were in a completely different form?
Yes.
Is anyone in this ring familiar with that form?
No.
Okay.
Before you come over there with the oil, I want to walk over to the warehouse and try to see if I can get in there and find where some of the gold pieces that were going to be paid to me might be.
Okay, so are you complying with him, Oakland, and staying on the dock while he goes to the warehouse?
Sure.
Okay. So as you're standing there on the dock in your horse form, is there a limit of time that you can be this horse, or is it until you reach 0 hit points?
It's an hour, I think.
It's an hour.
Level, I'm pretty sure.
So you have an hour to do what you would need to do before he reverts back. So you're going to want to do it in less than an hour.
Yeah, less than an hour.
Well, hopefully it's like 5 minutes, honestly.
So the journey to the warehouse would probably take... It's going to take probably 3 to 5 minutes in itself. It's pretty far down there.
Okay.
So as you travel, and you can see where you see the tails, you can see them kind of posted every so many feet as you're walking past them. They do not recognize you, for you have taken another form. You arrive to the warehouse, and you can hear the bustling of workers talking and doing different tasks. There's a main gate, a main door. How do you plan on getting in?
Here's my weaknesses. Am I able to get on the roof, and would there be any sort of skylights or something where I can see down in?
Go ahead and roll me a investigation.
Not great. It's a 9.
On the one side that you traveled down, there's no way to get onto the roof at this point. You've went like along the main door and you've went down the sidewall in between two warehouses. These warehouses are fairly close.
Okay. So, do I see any way to get in besides the main door?
At this point, you can see some small, like, light windows that are very thin, square, that you couldn't fit through, that are at the top to let light in. But on this side of the building, there is nowhere to climb up onto the roof.
Okay.
And as you walk down that wall, you can't get completely around. You're met with, like, what appears to be like a stone wall or some sort of barrier that's preventing you that seems to be fairly high.
I'll approach the main door and kind of see if anybody's paying any attention to it.
It doesn't appear so.
So I'm going to sneak into the building and try to get into some sort of dark corner where I won't be noticed.
Okay. The door itself is actually locked.
Oh, it's a closed door. Okay. Huh. All right, screw it. This is going to take too much effort. I'm going back.
Okay.
So I'll talk to Oakland the horse and tell him let's burn this bitch down.
Okay, so Oakland, roughly about 10 minutes has passed, so you have 50 minutes left in your horse form.
Okay. I guess I'm following him to the warehouse.
Okay.
You're going to make some neigh noises over there.
No, I'm just a lazy horse.
Lazy
Imagine
horse. Gaia, what are you doing at this point?
I'm chilling out with Captain Seeg.
Oh, okay. Just hanging out.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Watching from afar, waiting for that shit to burn down.
So are you on the ship deck then?
Yes.
Okay. So as you travel to the warehouse, again, you can see the tails, but this time seeing you pass yet again, they're a little bit more suspicious of you.
Okay.
One approaches. Hey, what do you think you're doing? I just seen you earlier, now you're walking back through here. Explain yourself, as he nervously puts his hand on the hilt of his sword.
Am I not allowed to walk on a public street or anything?
This time of night, going back and forth, I've never seen you before.
I've never seen you before. I didn't know I had roles where I could walk.
You better watch yourself and know that we're watching you.
Okay, you can keep an eye on me. That's fine. I continue walking. How close is Oakland to me? Is he like right behind me? Or?
I'm assuming
real close.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming it would look like you're leading the horse. If a horse is just walking off on its own, that'd look mighty strange.
Yeah,
so I would assume you're kind of like leading him.
All right, so keep walking down the dock with Oakland the horse following me, and just going straight to the warehouse.
Okay. As you arrive at the warehouse, you can see the same thing you saw before, and you can see that the door is still shut.
Okay, so I'm assuming that he can still comprehend me perfectly fine when I speak,
Yeah,
right?
I can understand you. I just can't talk back.
Okay, so just give me some yes or no head shakes. Am I supposed to dump all this around the building, or are we just leaving it right in front of the building?
Now remember, this is very close to other buildings as well and other warehouses, so
Man, that really sucks.
you risk.
This town might...
You could risk definitely setting aflame the entire shipyard.
So I have a question. I mean, I know I'm a horse, so I can't technically ask the question, but is this like sloped at any angle? Like
Sloped?
Yeah, like is it?
There would be a slope behind you as you're looking at the warehouse that would kind of go down into the water. But as far as the warehouse, it would be on rather flat ground.
Okay.
This is a very flat area. Now, as you go up into the city, it kind of raises up, and then as it conforms with the land.
All right, so do I recognize any tails that are currently seeing me?
No, nobody's really following you, but you definitely could be being watched.
Okay. Oh, man. I don't even know how to handle making this go up in flames. I want to get the oil all around the side of the building on the ground where the other warehouse isn't, right against it.
Okay, so picture large barrels, 50-gallon barrels of oil, 50-gallon wooden oil barrels. And what's your method of getting this oil on the ground and around?
If possible, maybe just like stab a hole in the bottom of one of the barrels and have him just walk, and make like a L shape around the building.
Okay, so the cart would be able to get fairly close, but you're looking at like a foot gap from the actual building itself. So it should still catch fire, I would assume. And then you could always, when it gets emptier, you could pick it up and like make a trail to the building. So, and then as the flames come up, it would probably burn it. So yeah, that can happen.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk real slow so it has plenty of time to get out of the barrels.
Okay. So how big of a hole have you put in this? What have you used?
It would have been just my dagger.
Would have been a dagger size hole. Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
D20 13.
Okay, so you hit, and your dagger goes cleanly into the wood, and it leaves a small hole. And the oil starts to spray out, and it kind of gets on your clothes, your armor a little bit. So now it's important that you start moving him. Now, as the cart goes, you start from the door, and you're working your way around the side that we talked about before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you get halfway, and you're having to turn around at this point.
So there'd still be some oil coming out of the drums, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that we just kind of go until the oil runs out, then I catch it from where it is and let it follow that trail all the way back.
So you're going to draw it out until the oil runs out on that one side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, like, no, we're like turning away from the building and like going back.
Okay, and going back to the ship.
Assuming there's not a shit ton of oil left in the drums. I wanted to be like close to out by the time we are leaving the warehouse.
Okay, so as you are going down the one side, remember you run into that wall, so you have to turn around and come back up through. The oil is still running out, and you get back up to the door, and the first barrel is empty.
Do you think that's enough? Yeah, okay. Well, with it being empty, I'm going to walk Oakland away from it a little further.
I don't move. Sorry. I don't move. Just stand there for a second.
Okay.
Let's shake my head.
I'm about to light it. You want to? No? Okay. Do you want me to?
You have two barrels.
Yeah. Do you want me to punch a hole in the second barrel? Okay.
He's shaking his head, yes.
And then I'm gonna just tap my hoof real lightly.
Does that mean a little hole? Okay.
Shake my head, yes.
I'll put a little hole in the second barrel.
So the idea is just to leave like a slight stream to the already ended oil barrel, the barrel that's already emptied.
Okay.
And just kind of leave a stream a good ways away, and then
see, that's what I was thinking.
Then we can light it from far away then instead of literally right beside the warehouse.
So have you emptied both barrels going all the way around the building?
No, just one barrel around the side of the building there.
Then the other barrel.
We want to poke a little hole in the other one, just enough to leave a stream that we can light. That'll come back and catch it. Like,
so
go a couple blocks away and light it.
How far? You're going a couple blocks?
Yeah, we're just going to kind of go a couple blocks away before we light it. So we want a stream from the second barrel to connect to the first barrel, but it'll be...
Are you worried about it chasing up the stream into the barrel and blowing that up at all, or...
No, we'll fucking crash this barrel off here, worst case scenario.
Okay.
So that's exactly what you want to do then.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's the best way, I think, to do it. So we're not standing right beside the warehouse when we catch it on fire.
As you leave the stream, the barrel is probably about... I'd say if you're going a couple blocks, you're probably maybe 3/4 of the way empty.
Okay.
And I would say that as you describe to me how you're doing this and how you're lighting it. Like, give me a description of how you're doing it, Storm.
Well, I'll probably knock the quarter full barrel off of the cart or whatever Joey would have pulling.
Okay, so like we're gonna knock this thing down like as a force, or are you going to set it down easy?
Am I strong enough to be able to set it down easy?
At this point, you should be able to because it's 3/4 of the way empty.
Okay, so
About
yeah,
quarter
I would.
full.
If I'm able to pick it up, I would put it down gently,
Okay.
holding it on the side that does not have the hole spraying the oil on me.
Okay.
And I'll just put it on the ground and get out my tinder box
Okay.
and step away a little bit and throw it on the little stream that goes all the way back.
Okay. So
how close are we to the ship now?
you're probably, I would say, a couple blocks would take you what, maybe less than a minute to travel. A minute.
Sure. Yeah, probably.
So at that point, you would have about 4 minutes of a walk back. But as you're lighting and this fire takes hold, and it starts to kind of go down the oil, it's not a real fast burn. It's more of a slow burn. And you have now drawn the attention of the tails that were down through there, and they turn to you and they start to scream.
I'm getting on the war horse. And we are going.
Okay.
I'm going to smack his side a few times.
All right. So
All right, I'm running.
you guys run, and where are you headed?
Not straight towards the boat.
Okay.
I'm assuming as a horse, I'm going to outrun these tails pretty decent. So I'm going to kind of take a long, maybe up a couple blocks and then down a few blocks and then back a couple blocks and then over.
So give me a perception check.
12.
What's your passive perception?
My passive perception.
24.
Okay.
My passive perception is 11.
Okay, so you got a 12. The horse noticed that a few of the other individuals that were just kind of watching have ran to try to put out the fire that has been started. However, they are unsuccessful, and the shit that they try to throw on it to smother it just catches flame, and it just continues to spread. And it's probably 3/4 of the way to the warehouse at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of run around, just kind of a long ways, like I said, making
Okay.
sure that we're not necessarily leading them right back to the boat.
The tails know that, they can't catch a horse, so they turn back to the warehouse, and they're trying to deal with that flame.
Okay.
And they are unsuccessful again in putting out the flame. And the flame travels to the front doors of the warehouse, and it starts to spread down the one side. And at this point, it's too much to contain. So as the flames start to get higher and higher and travel up the wooden wall of the warehouse, it just starts to kind of catch and starts to burn, and it kind of gets into the roofing, which is made of like a hay slash bundling of like sticks and stuff, and it just kind of starts to catch fire and spread. And by the time you guys arrive, are you going back to the ship at all?
Yeah, if I notice that the tails aren't on us anymore, I'm gonna go to the ship.
By the time you're at the ship in Gaia, you can see as the warehouse has started to catch fire, and it is burning.
Look, Captain Seeg. They must have been successful.
Yeah, it looks that way.
That's pretty awesome.
Call for celebration, huh?
Sure.
I have an idea.
What is it?
Where is, when Oakland and Mr. Sparkington gets back, we'll head into town and head to the local theater.
Hell
So-
yeah.
I'm gonna, once we get back by the boat and it's darkened area, I'm gonna, if he doesn't get off me, I'm just gonna like rear up and knock him off of me.
I mean, when we get back to the ship, I would get off when
Okay.
we're at the dock.
And then I'll turn back into Oakland.
So as you guys turn back into Oakland, and you're standing there on the dock. Captain Seeg looks at you. Good job. I see you did what you set out to do. That's going to be one hell of a mess for him.
Hope so.
It might slow him down a little bit.
Definitely going to piss him off.
Well, we definitely are going to be able to leave now.
Well,
hopefully.
Like I said, I don't leave till tomorrow, but come on, I have an idea. Let's go celebrate. He looks to a couple of his guards and he says, hey, come with us. And he's like, his crew members, and they're like, okay. So they all kind of follow. You guys coming?
Yes.
I'm a little wary on the decision to go back out into the public.
I'm going with him. I'm cool with it.
And I'm worried about Gaia being in her form. Well, I mean, she can change forms, but Gaia being out in the public with possible people seeing her. And then I am definitely going to, if I'm going out, I'm going to change and go back to my Leonin or elf form.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be noticed by anybody from the ring, and they only know me as the Storm.
So
form.
do Gaia and Oakland know your change?
Yeah, I'll let them know that I'm going to go onto the ship and change before I go with them.
Okay. So he goes onto the ship and changes, and Captain Seeg's like, damn, he's taking forever.
He's slow.
Well, I suppose the show starts in about 20 minutes. We don't have much time.
All right, so I'll come back out as a Leonin.
Oh, my. You're rather cat-like in this form.
That's not going to draw attention.
I'll purr a little bit for him.
So he says, well, follow me. And he leads the way, and you guys come up. You travel into the town a bit, and you kind of work your way through some city streets, and you come up to a very large theater. And he opens up the door, and he tells his crew to go ahead and, purchase their tickets and head on into the theater. And he looks at all three of you, and he says, come on, come with me.
Okay. I'm going with him.
Okay.
All right. So after you follow him, he takes you back into the dressing rooms. You pass other performers who stare at all three of you. One lady asks, Captain, who are your friends? As the two girls start to touch and come over and kind of fondle Oakland. This one is cute, the redhead says. With a slender, big-busted, and wide hips figure. As her hands go south towards Oakland's cock, the brunette with the medium-sized titties, luscious ass, and wide hips, both wearing tight red-type lingerie, waller all over you. The brunette turns to Gaia. Hello, my. You might very well be the sexiest elven beauty I've ever seen. It's as if God himself put you here. Is this your man? She asked.
Yes. Yes, I created him.
Have you ever been with a woman before?
Can't say I have.
How about all four of us hook up after the show? We have a room upstairs. You should join us, Alyssa and I.
I've grown very skeptical of this situation, and I think something bad might be up.
I'm a little suspicious about this too, so I'm
Yeah.
kind of a little put off. Just not because of Seeg, but more so.
So
just,
Captain Seeg kind of looks back.
I don't trust anybody in this city
And
at this point.
he says, this way, I want you to meet my lady Priscilla.
Okay.
Okay.
So they just kind of like follow in behind. You can tell that they're fellow stage actresses. And Captain Seeg opens up the door to reveal a blonde, young, and beautiful long-haired, green-eyed beauty with a face that looks as if it was carved by angels in perfect body. And she turns and looks and at both of you, and, oh, I'm sorry. They really are good girls, just a bit on the horny side. Wait, I know you two. As she leaps and gives you a hug, Gaia. You were healing people in the city streets the other day. It's honorable to stand up to the system, and I respect you for that. Well, unfortunately, I have to go. Excited to see you two in the audience. And she hugs Captain Seeg and kisses him. I'll see you tonight, right? And he replies, yes, my dear. I do not leave until tomorrow night. So?
Captain Seeg, you old dog.
Well, I have some friends in the city, and she is by far my favorite.
So we're not leaving until night tomorrow?
It won't be until tomorrow night.
Oh,
yes.
gosh. I'm not feeling safe right now.
Well?
So what kind of show are we watching?
It's just various performers and things of the sort. Priscilla will sing, and it should be a good time. Have some drinks and sit and enjoy ourselves.
Do all the women act like that around here?
No, not all of them. These ladies are eccentric, to say the least. Very kind girls, but very, very, very... Well, don't know how to put it, but I'll be nice about it, and they're just friendly, too friendly.
That's nice.
Well, if you'll follow me, we'll go out and catch our seats.
I still don't trust anybody around here.
I'm following him.
But yeah, I'm following him too.
I'm going along as well.
I'm following him with a big old smile and just not a care in the world.
So he leads you to the theater, and you can see the seats. It's wooden benches, a big stage. It's inside, and it's a beautiful red curtain, and he leads you to your row of seats, and you're close to the front, and you sit down, or he sits down, and he says, come, have a seat.
I sit next to Captain Seeg.
I'll sit next to Gaia.
Okay.
And I'll sit next to Oakland.
So as you're sitting there waiting for the shows to begin, servers come around and offer any kind of drinks and food, and Captain Seeg stands up and says, I'll purchase it. Get rounds for everybody here in whatever food they want, and he pays for it, and they hand out drinks, and they hand out snacks and different things for you guys to sit and eat while you're enjoying the show.
I do not jump onto my snacks and drinks immediately because I'm getting some Amira vibes off of the kindness and the free things being given to us. I'm growing more skeptical.
So as you guys are sitting there, you have about 3 minutes before the show begins.
I'm interested in this show.
I've never been to the theater.
You've never been to the theater?
Never been
No.
to the theater.
We don't have this where we come from.
Yes.
Nature is our theater.
Right.
Nature?
Yeah, there's nothing more entertaining than seeing two squirrels fight over a nut.
Or a wizard fail at her spell
Oh,
over and over.
that's interesting.
That is interesting.
It is interesting.
Sounds like you may have hit a soft spot, Oakland. Tell me, Gaia, do you have a magical power?
Of course.
Wow, this is amazing.
I'm awesome. I'm the best wizard of all.
So what did you two think of Celeste and Alyssa?
They seem friendly. They seem nice.
Yeah, they're nice girls.
They seem like they're the girls that are down that one place where they just throw coin at you.
No, they're not quite there. Not yet. They use this theater as their coin.
So they're just friendly. I was waiting for somebody to throw me out.
No, they would not throw you out. They are dear friends of Priscilla's. But very interesting.
So how did you meet Priscilla?
Ah,
Seeg?
Well, I met her through... I'm a big fan of theater. And seeing her on stage perform, I was intrigued. And I decided to try to woo her. And believe it or not, it worked. I was successful. And to my surprise, we've become very good friends. But that's just as far as it has went. We are just friends. I come to the city time and time again, and I see her when I can.
Have you not pushed it any farther than just friends?
No, not yet. You have to wait for the opportune moment. I don't want her to think that that is all I am interested in.
Does she know you're interested in it at all, though?
I would assume so. We spend time together when we can. And I'm not on my ship.
Sometimes you gotta take a risk.
Yes?
I bet she might want it too.
Maybe. One could only hope.
Maybe she's just waiting for a guy to show up.
This is possible. I would love to be that man.
Do it tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight.
Do you think I should?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I might just do that.
I think we can hold the ship down.
You can hold the ship down.
Well, I mean, not just us three. I hope the rest of your crew is there as well.
Well, I might take your advice. I don't know. This is rather exciting. I'm feeling feelings I haven't felt ever.
Well, maybe before we leave tomorrow night at least. Let her know how you feel.
Yes. Well, anyway, and as you're sitting there talking, the theater begins and performers start to come out, and the show is some of it's comedy, some of it's drama, some of it's serious, and eventually after all that ends, after about an hour, you got about an hour of comedy. There's about a half hour of a drama, and roughly about 30 minutes of singing. Priscilla is the last performer of the night, and her performance is astonishing. It's definitely leaves everyone's jaws dropped. And the show comes to a close and the curtains close, and you guys are sitting there in awe, for you have never seen theater. You were extremely entertained watching these people perform, minus Sparkington. He's probably seen things of the sort before in his life. You guys have had a bundle of emotions come over you. Like, you felt happy, you felt sad, you felt excited. Gaia breaks down in tears at one point during the performance. It's just an overwhelming pot of emotions that you have felt through this performance.
Oh my gosh, Captain Seeg. That was amazing.
Did you like that?
I did. And your Priscilla, man, now I see. I see what you see in her.
She is amazing. Oakland, what were your thoughts?
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. That was amazing.
Well, it's nice to get our minds off insane shit for once, is it not? See, there are good things to this city. You just have to find them, but you have to be careful in doing so, because when you look the slightest bit vulnerable, people take advantage.
This is only one place.
Yes, it is only one place. But it doesn't quite make up for the atrocities that happen, but it's a start.
It was nice to see that there's people here that aren't completely assholes.
Yes, for sure. There's good people in the city. There are good people. But unfortunately, the bad folks seek out and target folk that they feel are vulnerable. So, well, I am going to go back to my dear Priscilla. You're welcome to accompany me. When you're ready to head back to the ship, the two men that came with us, they will escort you both, along with Mr. Sparkington. Or you could take Celeste and Alyssa's request and join them in their room. That's entirely up to you. No judgment here. I'm sure you would be invited as well, Mr. Sparkington. But no judgment here. Whatever you decide to do, just before you leave the theater, please check in with the two crew members that have come with me so that they can make sure that you get back to the ship okay.
Are you going to talk to your lady?
I believe I might. Yes.
Pat him on the back. Good luck.
Well, thank you.
I'll put my big lion paw on his back too.
Ah, that's quite cozy. I'm surprised.
I give him a big old hug.
Oh, Gaia, you're amazing.
I know.
Gaia, you could probably perform at a theater.
Yeah,
Yeah, you probably could.
Make some money
I know I could.
in a more respectable way than at the brothel.
So you're saying I have to keep my clothes on?
Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't been to theaters where nudity was a common occurrence, but it might be allowed.
I've never been to a theater, so except for this time, which was pretty awesome.
Maybe it could be a different kind of theater.
You could open your own theater.
It could be an adults only theater.
What about little Timmy? Like,
Oh God.
do they go as adults or?
I feel like we would draw the wrong crowd.
We would have some kind of measuring thing outside of the door, and you have to be so tall.
Nevertheless, though, I'm willing to go back to the ship now if you guys are. I feel like somebody should be there and help keep an eye on it without Captain Seeg being around.
I'm okay with going back to the ship too. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
You
It's
guys
been a
don't
long
want
day, long night.
Yeah.
you don't want friendly attention from the two ladies.
No, I get enough attention from the crew members.
Well, I guess we better go find the guards.
So
Or whatever the crewmen, whatever it was.
the sailors. So as you leave to find the guards, you kind of wander back and you find them in the dressing room. And Celeste and Alyssa are standing there and they're just smiling at both of you. And they ask, so are you going to take us up on our offer?
Maybe some other time.
That is a shame.
As much as I am flattered, I need to keep an eye on these two boys here.
Well, they are joining.
No.
We can all keep an eye on them together.
I'm sure we could. I'm really sure. But see, I have this thing back at the ship. In Oakland, he's a little shy, if you know what I mean.
Well, we could help him come out of his shyness. And she wraps her arms around you and just kind of like whispers sweet nothings into your ear.
I just freeze up. I'm just like, oh God. I don't know.
Why so tense? Relax.
He's not really like that.
Well, if you change your mind, you know where to find us.
Well noted.
Red faced and like trying to get out of here.
Well, the sailors look at you and they're like, okay, are you ready to leave then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't believe you turned that down, Oakland. You sure you don't belong with Charles?
Sure.
Very well. And they escort you back to the ship. And you, after some time passes, you arrive with not an issue. And you walk up the plank or the boarding dock and you're on the deck of the ship. All 5 of you.
Well, that was interesting. That was at least we didn't get attacked or taken advantage of, or someone try to kidnap us.
I hope Captain Seeg is being taken advantage of right now. My plan is to just stay on the deck of the ship for a little bit and see if anybody's on our tail and coming to approach it or anything like that.
So at this point, you can see where the smoke had And as you were walking on down the road, you could see where folks were fleeing to the docks to try to help put out that huge fire, because by this point the whole warehouse is engulfed, and it's even kind of spread into other warehouses that are side by side. You can hear and see the panic and just some chaos going on as you guys were heading to the ship. And you can see as the fire is lighter than it was before. In the distance, it's not quite as blazing. It looks like people have gotten it kind of under control.
Well, that should slow them down at least.
So you're not going to see a whole lot from the tails.
Okay. Now, did they keep an eye on Gaia at all? Did they know that she went to the theater?
The fire would have put complete disorder.
Okay.
So no, they probably had forgotten Gaia was even a target at that point.
Well, now what?
I guess we sit here and wait.
Do we go to our quarters and wait, or?
We could. Or we could ask around if anyone needs some healing.
We could. We'll ask the crew members that brought us back up here. Like the two that went with us. Maybe they know.
So we walk and we find the two, and we walk up to him, and I ask him do you know of anybody that is under the weather or has any diseases, anything that we could help out with?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. Everyone seems to be in decent health and no issues that I'm aware of.
Good. Everybody's in good shape on this boat. No scurvy.
No scurvy.
No scurvy. Scurvy is prevented by having citrus fruits on your ship. We carry plenty of those.
Well, what do you want? What time is it?
It is probably around 11:30 at night, 2300 hours, 2330, 0000 hours, midnight. It's late.
Okay, so, well, do you want to go back and rest?
Yeah. We can go back to our quarters.
So as you guys head back to the first mate's quarters and you find your bed and you're able to go in there and do whatever you please, just going to sleep, meditating, resting, doing something an elf normally doesn't do.
Talking about, the theater and then probably resting, I would assume.
Okay. Sparkington.
I want to stay on the deck and kind of lay down and use my bag as a pillow by where the dock
Okay.
thing
So
would be.
are you, let's see here. So you're facing towards where people would come up onto the boat?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you trying to stay awake just to keep watch, or are you just kind of?
No, I would
sleep?
just hope that if I hear something, I would wake up.
Okay.
I'm not going to force myself
So
to stay up.
give me a D20 roll.
14.
Okay. So as about a few hours pass, about 2-3 in the morning, you can hear some fumbling come up on deck.
Okay. Are they on the deck of the ship?
Yes.
Do I recognize these people?
Yes. It's one person.
Is it somebody that works on the ship?
Yep. It's Captain Seeg. He's heading
Okay.
back to his quarters, and he is alone.
All right. So I'll ask him how it went. How'd it go?
Oh, not bad. Can't complain. We had a lovely evening. Went to dinner and ate, and it went decent. She had things she has to take care of in the morning, so when we were done, she headed to her room.
All right. Well, Gaia and Oakland are in their room, and I'll just crash right here.
All right. So everyone goes to sleep then and meditates.
Yeah.
Okay. The very next morning comes, and you can hear the seagulls and the water and the hammering of steel and the pounding of wood.
I'm going to look over and see if Gaia is awake.
Yes.
Like, we should go check Captain Seeg and see how it went last night.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna make our way up to the captain's quarters and see if he's there.
The doors are closed into his quarters.
We knock.
Knock, yeah.
As you knock, the door opens. Ah, Gaia and Oakland. Good morning.
Good morning. How was your night?
It was good.
Did you talk to your girl?
I did.
How did it go?
It went well.
Good.
Went very well. We had dinner. She had things she had to take care of this morning, so I ended up coming to the ship about 1, 2 in the morning. And
are you going to see her before you leave?
I intend to, yes.
That's good to hear. I'm glad that it went well.
Me too. I was very surprised. And as you guys are having this conversation, a person comes up onto the deck of the ship, and he's looking. Is there a Captain Seeg here? Captain Seeg, and he's like, yes, over here. And he kind of pushes his way up, and he says, Captain, we have ill tidings. Priscilla was attacked, and we're not sure if she's going to survive. And he's like, what? He's in shock. And he starts to lose his shit. And he's like, what do you mean she was attacked? Well, she's in the infirmary, and it's bad. You need to see her immediately. He looks over at you two, and you can see the tears coming from his eyes, and he asks you, I hate to ask this of you two, but
we'll go with you.
Thank you. And he's trying his hardest to keep it together. So, as you arrive, what are you doing?
Well, I would have still been by where they board the ship. So would I have heard that conversation?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna tag along unless I'm invited. So I'm assuming I'll just stay back at the ship.
Well, I mean, he looks at you, and he says, "We probably grab him. He might be of some use too."
Okay. Well, I'll tag along then.